I got the bloodlust. Me too. I want to kill. Let's kill.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to The Bloodlust. This is your go-to podcast for classy broads talking horror since 2014. This is episode 261 of the program. Tonight we are talking about The Substance, the second film by French director Coraline Farget. My name's Amy. I'm your fearless leader. I'm not good at pronouncing French names. I do apologize. Farget.
Merde. Sacre bleu.
That dulcet tone that you hear is Jamie, my lovely and talented co-host. Hey, friend.
Bonjour.
Any more French you want to whip out for us?
Je suis la jeune fille.
There you go. I knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm. That's the extent right there.
Right.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Ce soir.
Ce soir. Qu'est-ce que c'est? And now I'm done.
And now that was it. That's all we've got.
Hello. Yes.
Hello. Busy weekend for you as well?
Kind of. I was hoping to start packing this weekend. I did not. But I did go spend too much money at REI.
Did you?
I mean, not too much money, just more than I planned on.
What did you get from REI?
Well, I went to go get some new waterproof gloves. I did not get any gloves, but I did get a new zip-up jacket, a little zippy sweater jacket, and they had a very cute sweater in the clearance rack, so I also got that.
Very good.
So, gotta look cute when I'm standing next to volcanoes and waterfalls.
Sure. Absolutely. Do you want to tell the listeners where you're going?
To Iceland.
That's right. This will be your second time there, right?
Yes. With Kitty.
Very
First time
good.
with Kitty, second time in Iceland.
Yeah. You went with Leah last time, right?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
I'm very excited. They've been getting lots of good Northern Lights sightings. Although we had such a freaking solid one here in old Michigan over the summer. Like,
They said they were having them even
kinda hard to
the
beat.
past couple weekends.
yeah.
I've never seen them. Maybe one of these days. Maybe before I die.
Yeah. Saw them once in Vancouver, once in Iceland, and then the ones that we saw around here in the summer were the best I've ever seen. Those were
Really?
amazing. Oh, yeah. It was
Wow.
gorgeous.
Well, I haven't ever seen the Northern Lights, but I did go camping last weekend, and for the first time it did not rain on my camping
Hooray!
trip.
I knew
Yeah.
it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah. And our tent was very easy to set up and take down, and it worked out very well, and it held Kay and I and Boss very well and comfortably.
Wonderful. How did he enjoy camping?
Boss is not really a wilderness dog.
No, he
Boss
doesn't
likes
seem like he would be.
comfort.
Yeah.
He was annoyed that he had to lay on the ground. I think.
Oh, that's
in the tent
typical
he
Boss.
was on the mattress with us. In fact, he was completely covered by the sleeping bag, and Kay was not, and went and slept in the car.
Oh my
And
God.
used the seat cover that I used to keep the dog hair from getting on my seat covers as a blanket.
Why did
So
she
she
go
didn't
sleep
have-
in there? Just because of Boss? Or
Because Boss had taken all of her covers and she couldn't get them back.
Oh my God, Boss. Okay.
But yeah, he
Rude.
shivered and needed to be closer to the fire because he was chilled and
Was
things
so chilled.
like that.
Okay.
And we
So not a
accidentally
camping
took him
dog.
on a 5.5 mile walk, and him being 11, it was a tough walk for him.
Yeah.
So he was pretty sore.
Oh,
It was an
big boy.
accident. It was meant to be a 3.5 mile
Okay.
walk. You know how those things accidentally happen sometimes.
Yep. It's happened more than a few times.
Trails are confusing.
Yeah, they can be.
Yeah. So, this is a body horror movie
She sure is.
through and through.
Yes.
However, our roundtable question is another sent in by our friend Addison, friend of the pod Addison.
Thank you, Addison.
And it is about the Final Destination movies, which are a different
Ah.
kind of movie entirely. But and also a fun one, and also a type that can include a lot of gore, as this movie does. So that's the connection. Jamie,
Yeah.
What's your favorite Final Destination kill?
Okay. Well, I'm going to name two.
Okay.
And that's because the first one, I think, is just the main one everyone thinks about when they think Final Destination. And that is the vehicle driving behind a truck carrying a bunch of tree logs.
Yes, that's mine.
Yes, and one of them coming loose and smashing through the window.
Who hasn't thought of that? Whose life has not flashed before their eyes?
I mean, I think I just texted you guys not too long ago when I was driving with my sister-in-law, and she was behind one, and I think I said something like, obviously, my sister-in-law has never seen Final Destination, because you would never be driving behind one had you seen that movie.
No.
So, yes, there's that one. That's the most obvious. But I think my second favorite would be, I can't remember if it was in 2 or 3, but it's where the girl gets trapped in the tanning bed.
Yep.
And gets cooked to death.
What a great death.
Yeah, it's so brutal.
They're always so fun how they happen, too. Like, there's always a million ways that you think they're going to get it. There's so many red herrings. Yep. They are fun movies to watch.
I've always enjoyed those movies. Even though the plane explosion series of deaths in the beginning of the first one gave me extreme anxiety.
Sure.
When I first watched it, because that seemed like the most weirdly like realistic.
Yeah.
And not sort of campy. But then after that, it's really just delightful.
Just a delight. Very cartoony, very fun.
Yep.
The one that I also liked, besides the tanning bed and the log coming through the car, is the one with the gymnast who just like lands wrong and her spine comes out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she like, a bunch of stuff happens like as she's doing her routine, but none of it like hurts her. So she emerges unscathed, and then the landing, she just like accordions up.
Classic.
I don't remember which one that was from. It was
That's got to be a later one for sure. Yeah. Oh, those movies. Devon Sawa.
Listeners, what's your favorite Final Destination kill? Maybe we should do a marathon of those for Halloween or something.
That would be fun. I've done one before. I'm not opposed to doing it again.
Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe something fun for us to do for our 10-year anniversary.
Well, there you go. I like that.
Listeners, we were thinking about things to do for our 10-year anniversary, which is coming up next month. If you have suggestions, if you have a particular movie you'd like us to watch for that, or something you'd like us to do, we're all ears. Let us know.
Yes.
Yes. All right, I'm really excited to start talking about The Substance.
Yeah.
Not to show my cards too early, but let's get into it, shall we?
Sure.
All right, Jamie, tell us about this movie.
All right. Well, this movie is rated R. It has a runtime of 2 hours, 21 minutes. It is written and directed, and I believe produced by Coralie Farge. It stars Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, and Dennis Quaid. Premiered at Cannes Film Festival May 19th of this year, 2024. Released in theaters September 20th, 2024. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it is 90% fresh with critics, 71% fresh with audiences.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she also produced it and co-edited it.
Great. She's got her hands in all the pots.
Yep, she sure does. This movie stars Demi Moore, like Jamie said. She plays a former big Hollywood actress named Elizabeth Sparkle. And she, in her later years, in her late womanhood, has become a fitness guru like Jane Fonda did. And she just gets fired from her show by her sleazy boss, Dennis Quaid, in a great performance, and learns she's going to be replaced by a younger actress, on her birthday, no less. She also gets in a horrible car accident when she is distracted by her billboard being taken down. And she is turned on to this drug called the Substance, which just kind of looks like Gatorade in a syringe. But it does crazy stuff, and it makes you look much, much younger. but it
Well,
does it in
it's
a
not
really
like it
weird
just.
way.
Yes, I was gonna say it's more than just making you look younger.
I don't know how much we want to give away at the outset. I feel like we kind of have to give away at
It
least
happens
what
so
the drug
early.
does. And yes. So what this drug does is, and it shows you at the beginning, the very first shot of this movie, they inject this egg yolk and the egg doubles into another yolk. And that's what happens in Elizabeth Sparkle's body. Everything starts to double inside of her. There's some really cool special effects where you see like her iris double, her pupil, and then her iris, and then,
And then her whole eyeball.
Yeah. And eventually her back splits open like a giant vagina, and she births a young, perfect version of herself. And what we learn is that the drug comes with very strict kind of gremlin-style rules that you can't break. And they share the same consciousness, her younger self, played by Margaret Qualley, her younger perfect self, and her. And they're on 7 days at a time and then off 7 days at a time.
Yep.
So she has this beautiful, perfect, idealized version of herself, which she sends out into the world to take her old job and become a huge star. And then she lives at her house for 7 days and is just more and more depressed, basically.
Yeah.
And of course, the drug only works right if you use it as directed, and it starts to become kind of a battle of wills with herself, where she is her younger self, who goes by Sue. Just Sue.
Just Sue.
Sorry about the dogs. Is kind of stealing more and more time away from Elizabeth. And by doing that, she's draining the life out of her. So there's this back and forth.
Yep.
That's what it's about.
That's it.
This movie won Best Screenplay at Cannes. It won the Midnight Madness People's Choice Award at the Toronto Independent Film Festival. It's interestingly, Ray Liotta was originally cast in Dennis Quaid's role.
Yeah, I saw that.
But he
also
passed
would have
away.
been good casting.
Also would have been great.
Yeah.
I can see him in that role too.
Yep.
This was originally slated to be a Universal film, but they chickened out and decided not to release it.
You wimps.
Yeah, so Mubi picked it up, and that's who ended up taking it. Jamie, what did you think about The Substance?
I hated it. Just kidding. I loved it.
Lies.
I loved it. I mean, this movie is wild. It goes places I didn't expect it to. It goes real hard into some pretty significant metaphors and themes that are very real and relatable to a lot of women.
To us in particular?
Yes.
And other women our age?
Yeah. I think I either saw or heard something say that this is sort of like the intersection between self-care and self-loathing. Like, it represents that. And I think that's a very appropriate way of explaining it, because that was really how I felt about it. Just wasn't sure how best to like verbalize that. Mm-hmm. Because it is like I'm sure men deal with their things too, but there is obviously a very societal like push for women to look and present themselves a certain way, and this idea of society, and much more in this movie, like Hollywood and particularly sort of only valuing or being able to value a woman within a certain age range. Mm-hmm. And
her fuckability determines her worth.
Yes, and that they essentially suck the life out of you and use you this whole time only to then discard you without any sort of care. Like you have very little value. It's just for this very specific thing. And I think that's not a unique thing to be shown in movies or film or anything like that. But I think how it was shown in this particularly was so incredibly visceral and appalling, but also still, even with all the crazy practical effects and the insanity that you see on the film, like still felt very relatable. Like
Very relatable.
And that's both sad and also sort of like cathartic to sort of see it played out in this way. I think it's interesting that it was kind of based on Jane Fonda, you know, like loosely. It's just kind of follows that sort of
her career path
string. Yes. In so much that it's like an aging actress who then starts to do workout.
Yes.
Kind of sexy workout videos. But I also found it really intriguing and exciting, I guess, after seeing it, that Demi Moore played the character that she did, only because she was an actress in Hollywood who was very much sexualized at a young age, and a lot of her career has absolutely been sort of centered around her sort of place as a sex figure and
her physical self, her body.
Yeah, like even when she was out of the limelight for a while, she came back and did Striptease, and it's like that was obviously a very sexualized movie. So I didn't necessarily have any expectations of her. My knowledge of Demi Moore as an actress is really pretty limited. I love A Few Good Men.
Sure.
and
that's about it.
And I love like St. Elmo's Fire. Yeah. And some of those sort of early
Wasn't
80s
Andie
movies.
MacDowell in that?
I don't remember
Margaret
her in
Qualley's mom?
I don't think she was.
Well, she was in the Brat Pack anyway.
She may have been. It's been so long since I've seen St. Elmo's Fire. I have it, but anyways, so I thought she was an interesting choice. I wasn't sure like how it would be with her as a lead, and she killed it. Like
it was a great performance.
She was absolutely everyone in this really was fantastic.
Yeah,
Dennis Quaid. He played his role in this movie so well, and he was so disgusting and such an abhorrent human being.
At the same time, not without charm. Like, he still had that charm, and he was able to make his natural charm work for him in this disgusting character.
It was just so well done, and she was so great, and Margaret Qualley was so great. And Demi Moore was
great. She was really fearless. There was a lot of anger in her performance that I really liked.
Yes, and a lot of just being gross and disgusting and sort of like openly vulnerable. Like you yourself are just sort of an open wound of a human. Yeah. And having to come to grips with aging and like all the disgust and stuff that comes along with aging, and realizing that you're not this young, sexy beauty you were before. It was just, I just think, a very impactful and impressive like role for her to play.
I think my favorite part of her performance was that sequence where she's going to go out on a date with her former classmate.
That was my absolute favorite, without a doubt.
That was so good. And
that was the one that I think hit me the hardest in terms of just like anyone who is used to society telling you need to look a certain way, and if you don't, then you're essentially a monster and a hag beast. Like,
or you're just nothing. You're worthless.
Or you're worthless. Like, that was such a strong scene, and it was so sad. And it was so, like, it gave me a lot of anxiety. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, granted, I loved this movie as a whole from beginning to end, but that scene, that whole sequence in particular, I thought that hit me the hardest. Mm-hmm. And I thought, like, brought out some of her best acting in this.
Yes, I agree.
So yeah, absolutely loved it. It's been a while since I watched Revenge, but from what I remember, like, I wasn't super wild about it. And I can't remember exactly why. I think it was maybe just sort of the, like, pretty colors or, like, sort of fantasy camp that was put on a rape revenge movie just seemed weird, and it wasn't like it just for some reason didn't work for me when I saw it. This, however, was also camp, and had a lot of practical effects, and there were a lot of funny parts, but it was also such a very real and serious plot line throughout, and like theme that she was sort of playing with.
I would say the same thing about Revenge. I think you should watch it again.
But yeah, possibly.
I think that you'll
just
like it
didn't
again.
Work it for me the first
or
time,
like it better the second time, rather.
Yeah, I loved this. I'm actually really kind of surprised it was in theaters, or it's got as wide a release as it did.
I'm surprised it doesn't have a lower audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. My audience seemed pretty receptive. Everyone was kind of laughing at the right time and stuff for the most part.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a shocked silence at the end.
Yeah, I mean, the end...
There's another similarity between this and Revenge,
off the rails.
In that at the end requires literally like a fire hose of blood being sprayed on everything. I forget what it was for this one. I remember that we looked up the gallons of blood that were used in Revenge.
Oh.
I think for this one it was something like 26,000 gallons of blood or something crazy.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I love it.
Yeah, it was fun and upsetting and impressive. And even though 2 hours, 20 minutes is, unless you're Lord of the Rings, is generally too long for me for a movie, I would be hard pressed to like pick out which scenes I thought should be shortened or which parts should be removed. And I think it felt more likely that most of the scenes, or not all of them, like maybe just went a little longer than normal. Like everything was maybe kind of just a little bit longer, but I think that added to the sort of general feeling of discomfort that myself as a viewer had while watching this. Like it just makes you sit with things maybe a little bit longer than you're initially comfortable with.
I think it has a pretty
because I wasn't
nice
bored
pace.
at any point. Right, I thought it was nicely paced, and I wasn't bored. It was just lengthwise, it's past my ideal.
I think maybe like 2/3 of the way through, it starts to slog just a little tiny bit, and I think that they could shave about 20 minutes off of it at least, and mostly from that area. Some of the stuff with the back and forth between Sue and Elizabeth, maybe they could trim some of that up. That's my only criticism of the movie, is that it's too long.
Yeah, and it's barely a criticism for me. It's almost just like trying to find something. Because I wasn't in any way like looking at my watch or being like, oh my God, when's this going to be over? Like I was on board. I was strapped in for the whole thing.
Laughed throughout this movie. I laughed so much watching this.
Really? I didn't laugh throughout necessarily, but I definitely laughed at the end.
The humor works so well for me throughout. I really love it. I really love how visual the movie is, how little dialogue. It's interesting that it won Best Screenplay at Cannes, because to me, the movie's real strength lies in the visual storytelling and how well that's done. And I think she just has such a nice style as a director. Yeah. And learning that she was also part of editing this, it makes me even more impressed, because I love the way that it edited. It almost felt to me like, the perfect IKEA instructions, where they're just so well written that you're able to figure out everything. I felt like the visual storytelling here is so good that her messages are communicated so well and so accurately and so quickly that she's able to have all these cool jokes in there. And it's all down to the visual style of it, and even the sound of it, the score, and the way that the sound design was.
The sound foley was like, and the design was crazy. I was watching this with headphones in.
Can you imagine?
I would be. There was one point, like one very specific scene where I had to look away, and I was very close to like feeling like I was going to throw up.
Was it the when she kept putting the needle into the gross scabby? Okay.
No, that doesn't bother me. A lot of it gave me a lot of Requiem for a Dream vibes.
Yeah, sure.
But no, it was it was later on when she's the old sort of hag lady, and she is yelling, and all that white stuff is like building up in her mouth, and then she spits it out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, you're just thinking about it now. I had to look away. I thought I was going to puke a little bit. That was very hard for me. But everything else is like that cool kind of gross.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. That fuck off. I love Margaret Qualley.
Yeah, she did a great job.
I really like her. I liked her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I liked her in I can't remember what it was called, but she's a dancer, and she was in a music video for something, and it's just a really good music video of her sitting in, it's like a black tie event.
Okay.
And it's just a very interesting representation of how like it would feel to be sort of a socially uncomfortable introvert type person at a large multi-people social event.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I lost you for a second there.
Oh.
But anyways, it's a very good music video. And she does a really cool, like, interpretive type dance through it. But I just enjoy her. And I thought she was great in this.
She was.
And, man,
she had prosthetic breasts.
I couldn't recommend it, like, fast enough to Becky. She's going to see it tomorrow. I was like, you will love this.
In the movie, those are not her breasts or her butt. Those are prosthetics. I just want to point that out to people because...
I saw you wrote that. That's very interesting because, one, very impressive prosthetics. Like, very believable.
Very believable. But
I
just
mean,
want to
not
point
like
that out
those are impressive
to
breasts.
let people know that no one's really that perfect.
Well, that makes me feel better.
It made me feel better, too. Although it's also worth mentioning that Elizabeth Sparkle's character, the Demi Moore character, is supposed to be 50, and Demi Moore is 61, and she still looks like that naked.
Oh, I mean, she's always been gorgeous.
And the fact that she looks that good naked and was still that upset with her body and denigrated by that guy just drives it home even more.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that some stuff I've heard about this film critiquing it was that it's not subtle. There's no subtlety. Well, no, it's not subtle. It's like the least subtle movie ever. That's the entire point. It's satirizing Hollywood and excess and artifice, and it does a great job of that. And it is not subtle at all. Its message is very clear.
What? None of that stuff is subtle.
Exactly. You wouldn't want subtlety in a movie about this topic.
No. You think it's subtle how women are made to feel like they need to do certain things, or once you start seeing wrinkles, you are now all of a sudden becoming ugly and you're just old and not worth anything anymore? Like, that message that we hear all the time is
very
not
overt.
in any way subtle.
It's very overt, and the stuff that the things that women undergo to preserve their youth. They're very
the horrors that you'll put yourself through.
They're horrifying. Mm-hmm. I feel like body horror is a very fertile genre or subgenre for females, because the female body is a horror. You know, it's a horrifying thing. Men don't understand a lot of that, but we bleed every month. Mm-hmm. Body horror is intrinsic to the female body. The disgusting things that we have to do to make ourselves presentable. Yeah. There are lots of movies that kind of go into this, like Ginger Snaps and Carrie and even Rosemary's Baby. You know, the female body is very fertile ground for body horror. Yep. And I think this is such a worthy successor to those kind of movies.
Yeah. The waxings, the plucking, the shaving. And that's why I really liked the
plastic
scenes
surgery.
Where the Elizabeth Sparkle character is kind of like devolving or becoming depressed on her 7 days on. So she's just eating all of this food that she's probably spent a lot of her lifetime staying away from, because
Right.
that's just generally how it works. But then, like, the Sue character at some point, like, it doesn't come up multiple times. It's really almost only this one scene, but you see her, like, notice it in her body, and then she pulls out, like, this greasy, fatty, like, chicken leg
Yeah.
from her belly. And that was just interesting to me, because it's like, yes, that's yet another thing, is that you, whether you want to or not, so many women are just sort of programmed over time to be so overly conscious and aware of what they're eating because of what it'll do to them. And it's like, yeah, that'll go straight to your thighs, which
Right.
in, like, this sense, it
literally went.
literally did. And then she had to pull it out of her, and then she just becomes increasingly more disgusted with Elizabeth, because she's letting herself go and she's doing all of these things.
Right. That's
It's
the
just-
thing that I love too, as a
it's so interesting.
two-movie kind of sequence, this and Revenge, because Revenge was about male toxicity and the
Yeah.
anger that you feel towards men. And this movie is about female toxicity and the anger that we feel towards ourselves, towards our younger
Yeah.
selves, the anger and anxiety that we feel about our older selves.
Yeah, just this, like, weird, sad war that's always going on, where you're always,
Right.
you're never feeling happy with yourself or accepting. You always are then looking at someone else
And comparing.
and comparing and thinking, here's why they're better. Or you're seeing yourself, like, as a monster almost.
Right.
And, like, I mean, I'll admit, I've thought those things. Like, therapy has been very helpful with those sorts of thoughts.
Sure.
But those are just sort of the toxic, harmful things that I don't think we intrinsically and naturally feel about ourselves. Like, those only
society
come from
makes us feel that
society
way.
expectations and that sort of thing, which it's just sad, but it's also incredibly powerful. And like I said earlier, like, cathartic to see it played out in such a way.
Yes, and it's
In this
cathartic to
movie.
see all the rage be unleashed
Yeah.
in this direction. I mean, it's not cathartic to see the rage that she unleashes on herself.
Right,
But-
but it kind of is, because I think many of us, if not most or all women, like, have been there.
Yeah.
Like, you feel that. You have moments where you absolutely hate yourself and you're disgusted with yourself, and you're like, I would do anything to make it different. Like,
Right.
I just want to be or look or act like this person or these people. And it's like, those struggles are always there. Like, they're ever present. So
Yes.
that rage towards yourself is, like, very understandable, but it's always tough to kind of see and watch movies where there's somebody causing harm or bringing violence to themselves, like self-harm situations. And it's probably just because mainly, like, the urge for self-preservation should be so strong with people that, like, then feeling the urge to harm yourself or hurt yourself seems so unnatural. Like, it should feel hard to understand.
Yeah.
So I think that's, for me anyways, always kind of a difficult thing to see. And it was in this too, but it was just played out in such an interesting way, where there's, like, these two parts of herself. Like, there's two individuals essentially that are representing her one self.
And they hate each other.
And they hate each other. And she even says it, like, later on. She's like, well, she even says, actually, she's like, I hate myself. You're the best thing about me, or something. Like, you're the only
Lovable thing about me.
only
or something.
lovable thing about
Yeah.
me. Yeah. Like, and that was yet another part that was just, like, so sad. Just like
Yeah.
that, where it's like, even if at that point, after all of that, after how she looks at that point, everything they've been through, like, she still feels that way so strongly, where she's like, no, I can't accept to be just me, myself, like this going forward. I have to hold on to this. I'm
Right.
too afraid to let this ideal go.
And how cool to get an aging Hollywood actress that everybody knows for kind of physical and her beauty to be in this role, because it's exactly what society forces these women to do to themselves. Look at Courtney Cox.
Oh yeah.
Look at Meg Ryan. Look what they've been forced by society to do to their faces.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's countless,
and then we mock them.
Countless numbers.
Look at Sandra Bullock.
But I think not that the mocking is ever okay or right, but I think that's part of the whole thing, anyways. Where it's like you're viewing someone who at once was seen as like a perfect sort of beautiful Hollywood starlet, and you're seeing them now look different and being made fun of, and so there's a part that's going to make you feel better.
Right.
That now this person is more seemingly like at your level. Like they no longer are at that sort of status. And it's probably kind of like an inherent like, well, better them than me. Like at least I haven't done that. And now I feel okay because you look so much different. You at least like you at this point look more sort of unnatural.
Well, right. We want them to just be naturally beautiful. When we suspect that they've done something to themselves, we feel betrayed.
Yeah. And then it's just easier to be
hold them
harsh.
To the standard of beauty that we can't. Nobody can actually.
It's all such a fucked up.
It is. And this is such a great satire of all of that. What society makes women do to their bodies when they get older. What they make us do to our bodies.
When we're younger, too.
Yes. But especially with our aging bodies, that's the focus of this.
Oh, yeah.
I was shocked at how much humor was in this, because she still has that same rage that was present in Revenge. And it's electrifying to see here, I think. I think that there's something electrifying about her work in general. It feels really vibrantly alive in a way that it really excites me when I see it. It's something to do with the wide angle lenses she uses, the bright colors, the huge titles, and the super extreme close ups. I was
gonna say some really design. Like uncomfortable up close angles and stuff. Like how that was another sort of Requiem for a Dream feel, but just like being close to the face, but coming at weird angles to the face, like not face on. But there were also a lot of scenes in this that were a point of view, like first person point of view. And that was just interesting. And man, so many gross things.
But also so beautiful.
But also
that hallway
beautiful.
in her studio where she worked was gorgeous. I loved that. Her yellow
there were
coat
a lot
that she
of
wore everywhere.
Hallways in general.
It gave me Kubrick vibes. It gave me De Palma vibes. It gave me David Lynch vibes.
I think she pulled from
sure.
a lot of things. Kind of Black Mirror a little bit. Just this concept of sort of like it had a base in reality, but there was also like this substance, obviously, that like you could use, and it had this sort of futuristic, like it had a few steps in the future, even though feeling like it was grounded in reality, like current times. Yeah, I think it pulled from a lot of things, kind of Inside Out.
And I loved the opening sequence with the Walk of Fame and the way that it ends on that.
Yeah.
That, to me, it kind of reminded me of Up a little bit in a way that it puts you totally into the story with such a very, with economy of imagery and just a little bit of sound, and that's it. And you got the whole setup right there just from that little sequence. So smart.
I haven't seen Up.
Oh, well, it's got a really good opening sequence that tells you everything you need to know about the story.
I know how sad it is.
It's only like 2 minutes long. And then the rest of the movie is just a fun adventure.
Okay, well, I'll check it out at some point when I'm ready to feel a little bit of sadness.
It's a very quick scene. You can just watch it on YouTube and get it over with and then watch the movie.
Okay, fair enough. But yes, I loved everything about this. I loved that we were talking about like subtlety or very like overt symbolism or ideas or themes. I liked that it wasn't that this idea of like the sort of predatory or like cannibalistic like male gaze and like how men in Hollywood in particular in this movie see women. Like, there weren't a lot of male characters outside of Dennis Quaid, like
he kind of stood for all of them.
Yeah, the other sort of roommate guy, not roommate, but like the other tenant. Yeah, the neighbor, and then like the one guy she went on a date with. But they were all very minor characters with the exception of Dennis Quaid. But otherwise, there's just these sort of like groups of men that are just like leering and looking and judging, and you get I think it was really well shown and then harkened back to later on in the movie when Sue goes in for the interview, and it's just those two guys, and as soon as like the first gal is leaving, they're commenting to themselves and they're like, well, I wish her boobs were up at her face, because then at least you wouldn't have seen her nose or something like that. And it's just like, it's just every male in this, she didn't have to beat it over the head or anything like that. You just felt it from them. Yeah. That it was just always judgment. And like, even though they were all disgusting, like,
sure,
they
it doesn't
were just
matter.
Gross people. Dennis Quaid was disgusting. Like, his character was disgusting. But they're not having to face the same pressures and struggles that these two female characters are having to face. The one in particular, obviously. But, like, they're just not having to. And I think that I was just really impressed with how that was shown in this. That sort of idea just wasn't... They didn't have to call it out specifically, like, look how bad all these guys are. It was just thrown in any scenes where there were men. And you just felt it, but also because, like, we've all felt it. Like,
she's just really good at communicating things visually.
Yeah, I know. It was just very, very successful.
Imagery, and with in a very quick time, she's able to convey stuff very well. I think she's an excellent director.
I agree. I mean, particularly after this movie. Like, I just think this movie was so impressive and unexpected and successful in everything she was trying to convey and show, that it's just like, you can't do that unless you are skilled. And this is what, her second
movie. She made a short and
like that's movies. Absolutely crazy that that you're pulling out this sort of think piece that can be analyzed and taken apart and sort of broken down to so many different themes, and like ideas, and like, oh, this meant this, and bring about such impressive discussion that's just your second movie. Like, I am a fan of hers after this. I will revisit Revenge simply because I loved this so much.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what Becky thinks about this. I can't wait to hear about what anyone who goes to see this thinks about this.
And we've talked about it as if it's some kind of high-minded art movie, but it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just that the
gross.
theme, the topic, what is being... It's not necessarily how it's being presented, but what is being presented and explored in this movie that is the sort of think piece.
Yeah. But I mean, it's so
but
fun.
But it is also, fucking gross.
It's
and there are so many really cool,
visually
gross practical effects in this
and it's nasty.
Are absolutely nasty.
One of the nastiest scenes is Dennis Quaid eating those crawfish.
Yeah. It was so gross. The sound of that, and then just like the close up on his mouth with like the chewed up crawfish bits, and he's just like chomping on them, and his hands are gross, and he's dipping it into that what looks like slightly melted butter, not even like a fully melted butter.
Yeah.
It's just so, and then he gets up and goes to like hug a colleague or someone that he recognizes, and it's not even wipe his hands. Like and then you see him smoking in later scenes, and his teeth are just gross. Like, it is up close and personal with the disgusting factors of people.
So what do you rate this?
Oh, I'm going to go ahead and rate this a 5.
I've been going back and forth. I loved it.
I mean,
it is a little too long.
To me, though, that is not, it didn't fault it. It didn't take away from it. Again, I wasn't looking at my watch. I wasn't thinking like, holy shit, this is taking too long. I just think it could have been trimmed up. But that being said, I loved everything that I saw in this movie. And the fact that it's her second movie and it explored the theme that it did and got those performances that it did, like, there, without a doubt, this and probably Nosferatu are going to be like absolutely top of my list this year. I can't see how something else is going to top this movie.
This has been my favorite thing of the year too. This, Long Legs and When Evil Lurks.
This is not even close to Long Legs.
They're too different for me to super compare them, but I like this one more.
I found myself more bored like too often in Long Legs than I wasn't bored at all during this.
No,
I just thought this is like absolutely, it was just all around exciting, impressive, entertaining, and upsetting. Like, it's just so many things. It was just so well done.
Who would you recommend this to?
I mean, that's going to be a limited.
That's the thing. You have to be okay
group.
With body horror.
You have to absolutely be okay with body
horror. It's not for everybody.
Yeah,
I would love to be able to just suggest this to people that like good movies, but I don't think everyone would appreciate it. In the same way that I think that the Suspiria remake was really good, but it goes so hard into the gore that I'm not sure that that's for everybody either that likes cool art movies.
I think people who like horror but aren't super keen on body horror, or maybe just not as familiar with body horror, very possibly could have a hard time with this movie, particularly by the very end.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're not familiar with that sort of movie anyways, and you're not comfortable with seeing that stuff, but also still understanding the sort of larger point that it's trying to make, it's going to lose you.
Yeah, you're probably going to be repulsed. Because it's
repulsed
gross.
And probably very confused as to like why that's happening.
But I wish I could recommend it to everybody.
I want to be able to.
Yeah, I want to live in a world where everyone would love this, but alas,
folks, that I know have seen other kind of gnarly body horror movies and been good with them and enjoyed them, I would not hesitate. I would say this one goes pretty hard in the paint, so just prepare for that.
If you like David Cronenberg movies, I think you'll like this a lot. Especially if you liked Crimes of the Future and like the humor, which has, to me, been missing from his other movies, and I would say you would like this a lot.
Yeah, it was just, I loved it.
I loved it. I thought this was as batshit as Titan, or Titan, however.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought of it a little bit as far as kind of the beauty of it and stuff, and the gore. But I thought that this had a more singular focus to it, and a more clear kind of theme and idea. So I really enjoyed this.
Oh yeah, same.
Do we want to talk spoilers real quick?
I was just thinking that, and I'm kind of hesitant to talk spoilers, even though we usually like give the notice and it's like, don't listen unless you've gone to see it. Like, I mean, I guess we can, but I don't know. Well, I guess I wouldn't want anyone to accidentally hear something or whatever, because I just think
it's a pretty surprise.
I think it's worth going to see regardless. It's a great surprise, and I don't think we can say much more about the very end.
I just love the idea
that'll sway someone one way or the other. Like,
I love the idea of all the parts, because we're so objectified as women, of all the parts being put together in a random way. And like, here, you know, here's the smile you wanted, here's the eyes you wanted, here's whatever. They're just not
literally at
spot.
one point, like, okay, here's my boob.
She
like,
vomits a breast on stage,
here's a
ladies
breast.
and gentlemen. Here's a breast. You want a breast? Here's a
Here
breast.
it is. Like, what's going to make you all happy? Like, what's going to make me not look and feel like an absolute monster? Eliza Sue.
Monster Eliza Sue. Oh, man. Yeah, that image of her with the painting or the photograph taped to her face.
I laughed so hard.
Oh, my God.
I snorted.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so fun. And how when she got to the studio and walked in, they were all they were still at that point just like, okay, yeah, it's this way. You know where the stage is. Like, that was still enough to just like get, make her passable as a person.
There's so much more to talk about here.
Or when she's like putting the dress on and it's having to like pull it up or tie it around the arm that's just sticking out of the back of her body.
I got this from IMDb, so I didn't get it myself. But the music that they use when she appears on stage is from Vertigo, when Jimmy Stewart is seeing Kim Novak in her like final form.
Oh,
so it's perfect. It's such a great
seriously
illusion. And it also reminded me of Possession, of course, because of the monster and the unhinged woman. It reminded me of All About Eve, but with monsters. All About Eve, but with body horror, It reminded me of Basket Case a little bit.
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like there are a lot of movies that this either pulled from or it's just sort of reminiscent of or like has tones of. Mm-hmm. But that being said, it also felt like it's completely unique.
Its own beast.
Own thing.
Yeah.
It was also just its chimera of all these other things. I loved it.
Yeah, a monstrous chimera.
Yep. Yeah. I loved it. Like,
listeners, we loved it.
Can't wait to watch it again.
I'm going to go see it again in the theater.
I don't know if I will. I think I want to wait till I want to watch it where I can have my headphones in. Because I think the sound of everything is going to be that much more intense and upsetting. Especially like the chewing.
Yeah.
Or God, the scene where she's opens up that French cookbook.
Yes.
And like it's looking at all these disgusting
the disgusting things, calves brains and
foie gras
stuffed
and
turkey
blood
and
sausage and oh yeah, and then she's making it and she's beating eggs and it's all just flying in her face like I want to hear all of those things like right in my ear holes.
I want to watch it again now. Right
now. Go watch Revenge.
I wish. It's not streaming on anything.
Oh, it's not? Well, that's a bummer.
I know. I wish I had a copy. But yes, we also did an episode on Revenge, so you can search on our website for that if you want to hear our episode on Revenge. And I do recommend that you see that as well. But yes, if you're okay with gore and body horror, if you like it especially, you should run to see this movie.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, if that's your bag and you're into that, absolutely go find a theater where this is playing and see it while it's in the theater. And
give it your money.
Yeah, absolutely. We want her to be making more movies like this.
Protect this woman at all costs.
Yeah.
She did a top 4 films and it was great. And one of them was Mulholland Drive. And she talks about how she got to see Mulholland Drive when it debuted at Cannes.
Oh.
When she was in film school. And they were camping because they couldn't afford any of the hotels there. And they hitchhiked to the events. And she remembers seeing that and what a transformative experience it was seeing it. And that resonated with me. Boy, I'm not that I got to see it at Cannes, but seeing that in the theater was a transformative experience. But hitchhiking to go see it.
Yes. No, she's
cool.
She's very cool. Yeah, again, just making a movie like this, covering this sort of theme and that sort of self-loathing that many, if not most, women feel towards themselves based entirely on how society in the entertainment world tells us we should be feeling about ourselves. Like, being able to watch that played out in this sort of way and see the rage and see the just like disgust that we're told we should feel about ourselves when we're starting to age and we're showing age. Like, it is, I just think it's very important. I think it's a very, like, important thing to have out there and shown in such a way. Whether or not it's going to get a ton of people, I don't think it's, like, blowing things away at box office or anything like that. But
no, but it's getting great reviews and Letterboxd.
But it's getting great
it.
reviews, yeah, and it just makes me feel really good and excited about what else she has inside of her that she is going to be able to share with us. Because I love the things so far that she's chosen to sort of explore.
Me too.
And how she wants to show them. So I look forward to it. So yes, please throw her and Mubi. Yeah, throw them your money because they took a chance on this.
Yeah.
And decided to put it out in a theatrical release, which I think is fucking awesome.
I was so glad.
And Demi Moore should be promoted and supported and encouraged and celebrated because I think her doing this movie was awesome.
Yes, I agree. And she hadn't made a movie since 2009. That was the last thing she was
I knew it had been a while. And so to come back and do this feels very meta, but also it was just such a strong,
fearless performance.
Yeah. I just absolutely. Like she nailed it.
Everybody in here nailed it. It was great.
Yeah.
Visually, I love the place that they went to, or the place that she went to get her substance. How she had to crawl under. It was very being John Malkovich or like Beau is Afraid kind of.
It's just weird. Like everything seems so clean and like technologically advanced, like how it was all shown. I need to say though that like they really need to include more instructions with the substance. The fact that there were just essentially 3 flashcards, yet there is very serious like surgery and like stitching and things that are involved with the whole process. It's like they're
pretty hands-off.
You're putting a lot of faith in
and their
the
customer
fact that
service
these people
is really
are gonna
lacking also.
I know. I just thought that was so funny. I was like, that's it? That's the only instruction they're gonna get? Like
it. Minimalist. Like an
that's
IKEA
crazy.
Instruction manual.
Your entire back splits open. You're gonna want more info than just like literally just getting a hook and some string.
Nah. Best not to know about all
so.
the bad stuff that's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. God, it was just so good.
Yeah, we really liked it. In conclusion, we really hope that you go see it.
If that hasn't been made clear.
Highly recommended. Movie of the year.
Yeah. Oh, and I did see a trailer for Nosferatu. And I'm just really excited to see it.
Sure,
Robert Eggers doing any sort of historical themed piece. Oh, be still my heart. Plus Willem Dafoe, Nicholas Hoult. I love him.
Yeah.
I'm real excited. But
What's his face?
Comes out on Christmas.
Nice.
Perfect. So yeah, I was excited to see that trailer. And it wasn't like an overly showy, informative trailer. It just was like cuts of scenery and Willem Dafoe and some yelling. It was perfect. I was like, oh, I'm real excited about that one.
I didn't get any good trailers.
That was it. I literally don't remember any of the other ones.
No good ones this time. But that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, listeners, that is what we think. We would love to know what you think. Very excited to hear your feedback about this movie. And her previous movie.
Yes.
We would love for you to rate and review our podcast on your podcast listening app of choice, if you have not already. We would really appreciate it. It makes my heart warm and happy.
Yes.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks. And we're going to review Apartment 7A, which is a Rosemary's Baby prequel about the woman who they tried to impregnate with the devil's baby the first time, but spoiler alert, she jumped out the window. We all know this.
I mean, yes.
I'm not giving anything away. But that's what it's about. It's going to be on Paramount Plus. We do hope that you'll watch it and that you'll join us back here in 2 weeks to discuss it.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think we're going to do the coffee table, unless something comes out in theaters that we need to review first. So stay tuned for that as well. And again, if you want to send suggestions for roundtable questions or what you'd like us to do for our 10-year anniversary, send those in. You can send them to thebloodlust.net. You can leave a comment on this post for this episode on our website. You can message us on Facebook or Instagram.
bloodlustpodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jamie.
Uh-huh.
And thank you, Jamie, for joining me for this episode 261 of the program.
You are welcome.
And thank you, listeners, for listening. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Until then, happy October. I've been Amy.
I am Jamie.
Jamie's a robot. Thank you and good night, and hail Satan.
Good night.